Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, I hit the wrong one. Surprise, surprise. There we go. That's the right one. Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Veteran Talk. I'm Matt, your host, and I am the chairman of the board and CEO of said organization. Welcome. Tuesday night's fun news and other items that we're dealing with. And I can't see what we're doing here. This thing is just really gonna, whatever. I'm done with that. Go away. All right. Oh, sheesh. I forgot. I gotta do this. I gotta do lots of things. See, I'm screwing up again.
You can have Tool post something if you need a post somewhere.
Yeah.
Same as last. Same as.
Yep.
Okay.
We're not playing any games tonight on the channel. We're just gonna do news. So there's that. I'm already heading down because I've got them all set up, which I do appreciate everything. All the way down.
Hope everybody had a good Veterans Day weekend.
Yeah.
Who are joining us, as well as Tulip and, of course, Panda.
Yep.
Not Penguin, Panda.
I said Panda earlier. Oh, yes, I forgot.
I know, I'm
Please
giving you a
forgive me.
hard time.
We've been joined by, of
from
course,
last week.
Yeah, I know. The great Mini Coopster 13 and Two Wolf Designs, as well as the great Panda, have joined us again, which is wondrous. He survived his trip halfway around the world and made it home. I don't think we pointed that out last time, so we do now. Okay, so all that's done. Yeah, okay, so we're good there. So, as always, excuse me for 1 second. Pardon me. Always at the top of the screen, Veteran Crisis Line. Dial 988, select option number 1, you talk to somebody. You can text that number as well. Go to veterancrisisline.net. On the top right-hand corner, you can chat with somebody. Or you can go to any of the great nonprofits that are out there that help get veterans through the crisis that they have. And that was cool. Thank you. I'll pin that up there. So that you get through what you're going through, okay? Because it's not permanent, it's temporary. Okay? Keep in mind, I don't care what the voices tell you, you are needed, you are wanted, you are loved. Okay? I will always tell you that because it is the truth. Just keep going. I mean, we don't go into battle by ourselves. You don't have to go through whatever you're going through by yourself. All right? There are others that are going through what you're going through. Reach out. Get some help. Stick around. And with that, we are off to our stories. Now, not going to be the greatest night. We're going to go back and forth in the stories between good and bad. Maybe a funny one or two. But tonight we are going to start with the crash.
Been a busy week.
That happened. I reported it on Saturday at the beginning of the stream. A helicopter went down in the Med. It has been reported that it was during a training mission. They were doing refueling. Because it is, the unit now has been identified as the 160th SOAR Night Stalkers, it was probably a nighttime operation, which is just normal things for these people because that's what they do. But we have the names of the individuals. So we're going to go from top left here, top row. Chief Warrant Officer 3 or CW3 Stephen Dyer, 38 of Clarksville, Tennessee, with a red beret. Chief Warrant Officer 2 or CW2 Shane Barnes, 34 of Sacramento, California. Bottom row here, Sergeant Andrew Southard, 27 of Apache Junction, Arizona. Staff Sergeant Tanner Groan, 26 of Gorham, New Hampshire, and Sergeant Cade Wolf, 24 of Mankato, whatever, Minnesota. These are our brothers that were lost. Say again?
It's Mankato.
Mankato. Thank you.
I'm from that area.
Oh,
No.
Thanks for the assist.
No worries.
There is no other information regarding this event, but sadly we have lost, like I said, 5 of our brothers. 2 were officers who went to the 160th SOAR so they could continue flying. They renounced their commission and became warrant officers so they could continue flying. Oh, what was that? What was that? Irish, my Alicia. Oh, hey. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
One of my friends.
Yay.
Welcome
Glad
in.
to have you here. And yeah, many correct, keep their families and their extended family in your thoughts and prayers. So, hopefully.
Well, even their unit too.
Yeah.
Because that
that's an
would
extended
be hard
family.
to go back. Yeah.
Hello, Irish. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for hopping in. So there's some of our bad stuff. Now, here's something funny. And my God, is it funny. Apparently the Taliban are now patrolling Kabul on rollerblades.
Oh, wait.
There's the picture.
Are you talking? Oh, no.
On rollerblades.
Oh, God. Oh,
This wasn't bad
man.
enough when I think it was Pakistan had their police force doing this.
I got one. Can we send him some segways as a consolation prize?
Well, see, the problem I'm having with this is there's no protective gear. Okay? There's no pads, no elbow, knee, no wrist protectors. Because I'll tell you right now, I know for a fact that going down on these blades at any kind of speed, you're taking your wrists out, okay?
They got their armor vests and all that ammunition. That's got to feel good to fall on, you know? Some cracked ribs and all. Broken ankles, knees.
Having a, their AK-47, strapped to them and they're in traffic. Let's watch the video. Because there's actually a video.
There's a video? Oh, God.
In the United States, this is illegal.
Please don't try this at home.
So I'm going to take a guess. They're probably going about 25 to 30 mile an hour. And they're literally just hanging on the side.
Fudge?
Now watch.
Oh, no.
Get out of the way. We have a siren.
This is like the same stuff you see on Fortnite.
Here's the one problem I will always have with this. This is supposed to be the military. Okay? This is some E4 shit. Alright? I don't care what... This is E4 shit. And every one of these assholes... this guy right here with the beret, or what looks more appropriate like a potato on his head, has a set of headphones on. He's listening to music.
Listening to Beyonce.
Okay?
Come in the world. Oh my God.
This is
so many memes.
This is just... I'm waiting for Angry Cops to get a hold of this, okay? Because he will. Oh, better hop over that. Yeah.
Ooh, if this would be perfect in the Boston Hills area.
The potholes.
Yeah, that was one of the captions. It's like, what do they do when potholes show up? Listen, I'm gonna say this. This is sad. This is in Afghanistan, and the roads are better than here in Texas. Okay.
Jesus.
They look better than most places.
Wow.
So you got a convoy. I'm guessing. Look, yeah, that's some E4 shit going on right there. They're testing the suspension out.
Hey Panda, can you do this for your field training? Please? Test this out for us? I'm kidding.
I mean, I've grabbed the bumper or the tailgate of the vehicle to get filthy.
What do you want me to do?
But not.
Test this.
Oh god,
Test this
you
theory
gotta
of
be
how.
watching this stream, dude. This is some E4 shit.
Okay, hold on. Give
Lance
me a minute.
Corporal Underground level stuff for you. Okay.
Oh, he's coming. He's getting it set up.
This is.
Oh, I want to hear his reaction.
Now this is a long video, so we're gonna jump forward here in a minute. But I really want Panda to see this. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time, but still, oh, this is just amusing.
And of
All right.
course, you got the one with the video camera.
Well, of course, somebody's got to record. It's probably a phone.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh shit, is he on rollerblades?
Yep, both of them
Two of
are.
them.
2 of them.
Oh, wait. He's texting
Quite literally
now.
skating.
See?
Oh no, he was changing the song on his headphones.
Yeah, he was changing the song on his headphones right there. Yeah. I mean, this dude's just hanging on and just jamming out.
Jet Set Radio
No.
Future Warzone Edition.
Yeah.
I mean,
So look-
okay, he should be able to release fast enough if the vehicle had to make an evasive move or something.
All right. Well, apparently
But-
we missed the drop back where one of them cut loose and grabbed onto the one behind it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
All I see
Yeah.
is so many broken parts and everything, because you're trucking, being
All right.
pulled by a vehicle, man.
All right.
You're
so,
moving.
So they're moving pretty good now. I put him. Oh, there he goes. Where's he going? Where's he going? Look out! AK coming in. Oh, there's traffic. They're gonna clear the. Watch out for the guys with the guns.
Oh my god. Oh, can you imagine pothole?
I'm sorry. You're talking about the speeds they were moving. If they hit something and went down, they're going to require facial reconstructive surgery. Okay?
Yep. Some definitely broken.
Here, my brother.
Broken teeth.
Hold
full
on.
teeth.
For dear life. We're going again. And they videoed this.
I don't even think Leroy Jenkins would do a move like that.
I can't make this shit up, people.
Are
This is
rollerblades
real.
issued to the Afghanistan army?
Yes.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
The
standing on the
article.
runners now. He got smart.
But
It's like,
the,
fuck this.
the
I'm
AK
good.
hanging on his side.
Uh-huh.
You go tumbling. What's gonna happen?
Hopefully
Yeah.
nobody gets a lobotomy.
Right? Or slip and
Ooh. Ouch. That's all I gotta say. Ouch.
Let's see what else
Like,
can we go
nope.
forward to here. It's just more skating, people. Oh, we got traffic. Hang on, let's see where it goes. So they're trying to clear traffic out of the way because apparently they have somewhere really important to go to. I'm gonna
They'd
see
make
them-
excellent delivery drivers.
Oh yeah,
for
I want to see them take
DoorDash.
a corner. Seriously, I want to see those guys hanging on and they take a corner. They've been going
Now, the
straight
guy
the
on
whole
scooter,
time.
That looks like, well, the guy who does, double parking, that looks like Boston.
DoorDash is new,
Yeah.
recruits.
I mean, Boston put bike lanes in, right?
Yeah.
Inside the parked vehicles. So between the side, like you got the sidewalk, bike lane, parked vehicles, then traffic.
Oh
What
yeah,
happens
that's
when
gonna
you come
work
to an-
well.
What happens
That's
when you come
gonna
to an
be
intersection?
Look at
Great.
these people. They're like, who the fuck are these people? Why are they on rollerblades? Didn't those go down of style in like the 90s?
And the cops just like, okay, come on.
We have to go fast again.
Boy.
Well, can you imagine how their feet feel? I mean, that's a
Oh
constant
my
vibration.
god. I would cry. I calves. Can you imagine getting a cramp?
Oh. Whoops.
Let go at the wrong time and find a Jersey barrier.
Okay, dude's still hanging on. They're still hanging on. They're still moving at a pretty good clip.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one of them to kind of reach out and smack a biker in the back of the head.
Wee.
Yeah, 'cause
All right, that's enough of that.
That just gives me nightmares of pain and agony.
But still funny as hell.
new training
Yes.
exercise for the military.
Yes.
Go speed racer.
Yes, the Marine Corps got electric bikes, motorcycles. You know, they got the Afghan military got rollerblades. I don't get it. I just
Or got electric bikes
Ooh.
and scooters. Okay.
all right. Good news. Now, for a lot of people who don't know the history, the Army corrects the records of the Black Buffalo Soldiers hung by the U.S. in 1917. Now, let me be the Buffalo Soldiers were given that nickname allegedly because nobody's come up to prove otherwise, but I believe it. Were given that name by the Native Americans when when they started battling them during the American Indian War, or whatever it was at that point in time, because of their hair being, you know, curly and tight like the buffalo's fur. So they were given the title of Buffalo Soldier, and that is an honor from your adversary. And I don't care what anybody else thinks, that is an honor that they were given that title as fierce warriors, and it's been carried on to this day. I believe one of the locations they were originally out of was Fort Huachuca, Arizona, or that vicinity at the time. But they were instrumental in taming, literally, the West and, you know, building and things like that. Now, 1917, they had been relocated to the Houston area to guard an encampment that was being built out into a military installation. One thing led to another. Some of them grabbed weapons and armed, you know, they armed themselves and whatever. And then the stories of them committing murders and things like that occurred. At that point in time in Texas, I'm going to throw it out there, it was racist as hell. Okay? So them getting a fair trial, there were 110 of them that were killed.
Well, 110 were tried, I thought.
They were tried and they were hung.
Okay. I wasn't sure if all were or
Yep.
one more.
Well, all right. The majority were hung. I think there may have been 10 that weren't, or there something like that. But the problem that came in was they had the trial. There were initially 10 of them were convicted. Quietly, the Army hung them the next day. Mm-hmm. Okay. There was no opportunity for an appeal or anything else. It was you're done, and you're hung, literally. And that kept happening until the Department of War got involved and smacked them and said, you can't do that. These are U.S. soldiers. And that's why we now have an appellate division built into the UCMJ. All right. So if you are found guilty, there's an automatic appeal if you so desire, depending on the severity of what you're being convicted of. The Army is now going back through all of these 110 records, and whether they did something wrong or not, there was no way they could have gotten a fair trial, as was prescribed at the time, even for the Army. It was proven that they were not given a fair trial, so all of them are having their permanent records changed to honorable discharges, and any benefits that are available to the family, surviving family, are going to be provided to the family for their ability so they can use them. Now, granted, yes, we're talking 116 years ago, but or 100,
But rightfully
100
so, though.
brain 750, yeah,
Our ugly history.
106 years ago.
Yeah, 106 years ago.
That, you know, at least somebody was paying attention and they finally gotten around to doing this. Should it have happened? Not on your life. Okay? But this isn't the first time we've heard of this happening, and it probably will not be the last. It's a very sad state of affairs when you look at somebody and you think they are less of an individual than you are. Okay?
Yeah.
So...
the name was given to them as an honor, and then the army and stuff used it as a derogatory unit.
Well, no, it was just their skin color was derogatory enough. If you have Netflix, you're going to make me look it up. There is a great show. It's on my list. I know it's on my list. The Liberator. Okay. Great show that was done. I highly advise you watch it. It was really, really well written, and it is about a unit that an officer was given charge of, and they were all basically delinquents. You know, some were Native Americans, some were Mexican. You know, varying, you know, Irish backgrounds, whatever, and the trials and tribulations that they had to go through. Well, this officer, in a nutshell, just looked at him and went, "Can you be a soldier?" Well, yeah, shut up and execute. All right. He proved himself to them. They proved themselves to him. And it's a really good story. I suggest you watch it. But even then, and we're talking World War II here. So you're talking 30, 40 years later, 30 years later, 25, 30 years later, that this rampant racism was still going on in our military, which is unacceptable. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's several good ones about them.
So I'm proud that we are finally getting around to making the long overdue correction and clearing their names and allowing the families to utilize the benefits that they are long overdue.
Yep.
And back to some funny thing. Adam Driver, you know, Kylo Ren, made a new movie. Where was he? Italy? He attended a question and answer, Poland. Okay, he was in Poland doing a question and answer session, and one of the viewers looked at him and said, you know, what do you think about the car crashes? They looked really fake to me. And as you can see, Lance Corporal Underground is still alive in Kylo Ren. And he said, fuck you, I don't know. Next question. What do you want him to do? He didn't fucking do that shit. He acted in the movie. He might have driven a car around the track a couple of times. He didn't crash him, trust me. You know, he was playing Enzo.
Oh my God.
You know, the character was Enzo Ferrari. You know, trying to, you know, create the Ferrari brand name and everything, and he had to win that race to, be able to finance the company before it went under. So, I mean, I'm sure it's a pretty good show, no question about it, or movie. But how are you going to ask the lead actor about something that he had no part in? That's just fucking stupid. So, ask stupid questions. Adam Driver gives you a stupid answer. Love you, brother. Oh, and here we go again. Welcome to the Belarus military. We've seen these demonstrations of overly testosterone military members doing silly things with sledgehammers and bricks and other things, Sometimes it doesn't work out so well. Other times it's amusing for us.
Inconceivable.
Exactly. Happy birthday to him, by the way. Belated. So they're celebrating Airborne Forces Day, which is in Belarus and Russia and one other location. And they decided that they're going to have this I'm a tough guy showing. So watch the video, everybody, and see if you have as much fun as I did the first time.
Oh boy, here we go.
I have no idea what he's got. Very coordinated. Oh, I've never seen that before.
Wow.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop that one and bring it back. Hang on. Come on. Do it for me. Don't do this to me. All right. I want you to look at this. All right. Dude standing here all fine. Maybe a little smoking. He's got some smoky eyes going on, ladies. You know smoky eyes, right? That's the real smoky eye. This thing's on fire on the end. Okay? It's on the end of this stick, for lack of a better term. It's not even a 2x4. I'd be impressed if it were a 2x4. Now, let's watch and see where the fire actually strikes this soldier. It doesn't. But he did hit him with enough force to break the stick.
Jesus. Well, bam. Pow, motherfucker.
How did you let this go on the internet? And go, I'm proud of them. Dude, I know fucking E3s that can do a better job at that shit. And they haven't been trained. Oh my God. And by the way, if you look in the video, who's calling for Batman? Can you see it down here on the bottom left-hand side?
Yeah.
That's the bat signal. They apparently think one of them is Batman. Oh
my gosh.
I don't get it, people. I wish I could say I did. I do not. Oh, no, I don't. So much fun, though. We're having a good time tonight. Oh, okay. Now we're going to transition to a different news source. And ladies and gentlemen, direct from January 6th, Navy veteran, the QAnon shaman is running for Congress out of this great state of Arizona. He has filed a letter of intent with the state to run for Congress, then a seat that is being vacated by the current member of Congress who's not going to seek re-election. If nobody goes up against this guy, oh buddy, this is going to be fun. Okay? He apparently liked it so much, he wants to go back.
Wow.
That's ball. He's a convicted felon. He pled guilty to trespassing on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Yet he's not gone to prison. He's walking free.
Yeah. We think.
Who's the first in Arizona to pull a Colorado?
Say again?
Minnie knows what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Right?
Dumbass and
I said-
dumbassery too.
Who's the first in you said Arizona's where he's at, gonna pull a Colorado and try to get him to where he's banned for the Insurrection Act thing, or whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, number one, even if he was not convicted of being a part of an insurrection.
All right.
So there's that. Number two, if he's elected to Congress, they can't do shit.
Mm-hmm. No, to keep it blocking from being able to be on the ballot.
They can't do it if they're in Colorado.
Well, no, but I'm saying who in Arizona will try to pull that stunt?
Oh, somebody's already talking about running against him. But I'll tell you right now, that's all I need to see, dude. You got my vote if I were in Arizona in your district. All right. Seriously. It's again I can't make this shit up. I really
The
cannot.
balls on people.
Really cannot make this shit up. I love this stuff. Some of these just bring a tear to the eye. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Storm. Thanks for hopping on. Appreciate having you here. Okay, bad news. Coast Guard helicopter crashes about 60 miles southeast of Sitka, Alaska. 4 crew members, 2 were injured pretty substantially, and they were, child abduction in Whitmer, Texas. Great. They were airlifted to, I believe they said Seattle for treatment, and the other 2 were, again, they were taken there, but not the slow boat apparently to Seattle, so they can be cared for appropriately. It's the closest triage hospital to their location, because Sitka does not have much in the way of health care options, shall we say. But hopefully they're all going to pull through and be back on duty in short order. Thoughts and prayers are with them and their families. Now for horrific news. Things that make veterans go, I don't like the VA.
Yay!
Can you elaborate a little bit more?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Head of VA prosthetics department in Colorado canceled veterans' orders to eliminate the backlog. Let me be clear. The head of the VA prosthetics department in Colorado, which services more than Colorado, canceled veterans' orders so they did not have a backlog.
They all got their stuff. See, there's no backlog.
Exactly. There's no orders in here. We're good. Guess what? Wrong answer. Storm, what it is that they had so many orders, they were not able to fill them in a timely manner. So that is the backlog. That there's so much that it'll take them weeks or months to get to is considered a backlog. Mm-hmm. So this genius of an individual, who I will not name, even though it's in the story here, decided to delete them so that it looked like they were doing good thing. They were doing good work and they were up to date with everything and not, going to get in trouble for, I don't know, making veterans wait. This is my perplexed look. So
Ugh.
this has been reported, okay, by a whistleblower who has been relocated by the VA due to the probability of backlash. Not backlash.
Retaliation.
Retaliation. Thank you, Minnie. Got me on that one again. They had at one point upwards of 2,500 orders, which, it would take a long time to get to, because they're not staffed by thousands of people. And we're talking, prosthetics here. We're talking arms, artificial arms, legs, wheelchairs, scooters, braces, foot, shoe inserts, and things like that. Okay.
Implants, everything. There's a lot that can be. There's a part of that department.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or overseen by that department. So.
Instead of, and this is a business thing, okay? As sad as this sounds, this is what should have happened. The individual in charge, the director of this unit, and I talked to Minnie about this earlier, should have done this and said, listen, I've got a team of 35 people, okay? And I got 8 specialists in prosthetic limbs. Okay, I've got orders of 400 that I'm not going to be able to get to. I need more people. Okay, or I've got orders for wheelchairs. Well, we don't have them at this many wheelchairs. Can we reach out somewhere else to get some to provide? This is how it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to go up through the food chain this way. Okay, this did not happen.
And the worst part, he was just relocated instead of terminated.
Of course.
I'll leave my opinion on that one. Why?
That's the way upper management and government works. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is more than just, the story goes into more than just the prosthetics department. It goes into that whole regional director area, and they are in trouble and have been relocated as well. Okay. Hostile work environments, things like that. And I'm not going to delve into it. That's not what we're here for entirely. But so you have upwards of 2,500 in a backlog. How do you get through it effectively? Well, first you call around to the other locations that do this and see what their backlog is to see if they could help you out. Okay. A little bit more of a cost for shipping and things like that. That could still be eaten pretty easily. All right. Or you take it to the food chain. Here's where we're at. Here's what we're doing. Here's our expected timelines. I need more help. I need more money to hire more people to do this job. Okay. And it's supposed to work its way up the food chain, all the way up to DC, where DC goes, okay, we're going to add blah, okay?
Or what can be outsourced.
Right. Or can it be outsourced? Correct, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
And all that additional funding that then goes to that.
So, these things could have been done appropriately, and these service members could have received their items in a timely manner. Okay. We have to understand as veterans that, we're not number one on everybody's list unless it's the shit list. And that's probably where we're at. All right. But when it comes to things like this, to delete stuff to make it look like your office is running smoothly. All right. I'm sorry. I think that's criminal. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Lack of responsibility, integrity, fucking just stupidity.
You should be walking the unemployment line because you're not going to get any, because you should be fired immediately. All right. And this is founded. This has been proven true.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay? So this person should not be employed by the federal government in any way, shape, or form. And anybody that comes to verify her employment status or prior employment status should be pretty easily going, no, they were removed for cause. That's all they have to say. And anybody that does hiring or anything like that will know, bad mojo. You don't want this person in your employ. All right? So we've got issues across the board with people not doing their jobs, trying to make themselves look good at the expense of the American service member that is due these items. Okay?
Yep. It's like we've already signed
My
our
question,
and done our due time.
All this stuff which was deleted, some of that can be considered medical malpractice, which falls into those areas.
Very possible, yes.
Very true. Yeah.
Because I think prosthetics also includes CPAP machines and things like that.
All right.
So if they withheld any CPAP machines from somebody who desperately needs it and they've had health complications, that is criminal.
Well, the
It also goes
wheelchairs
for
and mobility-based stuff and everything. I mean, outside of I understand they order certain braces from the outside world, the wheelchairs and stuff. So
Right.
And stuff. We deal enough with that department.
Well, again, I'm not. They didn't give us an idea of what it was. I was just throwing out there, items that come through the prosthetics office.
Oh yeah.
But it's absurd to have done that and just deleted orders that are necessary. It's not like it's a superfluous request by the service member to say, hey, I need, a new left leg, below the knee or whatever. That needs to be fucking done. That is a mobility issue.
Yep. Anything that is basically considered an accessory for, that's going to help you stay mobile, help you function. Because, you can even take into account pacemakers, stuff that's helping your quality of life and to maintain everything to ample stats.
Right. Well, happily pacemakers don't go through that office, so.
Thank God. Jesus, that'd be another 1,000 couple lawsuits.
No, somebody going to
everything
prison.
else.
Somebody go to prison for that one. So, problems at the ship, surprise, surprise, surprise. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As things go up the food chain, at every level, they get run through rose-colored glasses. So when it makes it to the top and the decision makers, it all looks pretty and we're all doing great. Instead of being honest and taking care of the service members and their families, this is becoming a bigger issue than we ever thought. And this is why a lot of veterans don't want to deal with the VA.
Too many departments in the VA are worried about numbers, numbers as in we helped this many and did this when they don't actually do nothing in between the two.
Yeah.
And the bottom line, dollars.
Right.
Between the two, and people get left behind in between the two.
And that's the problem because, the VA, and again, the VA gets an allocated amount of money through Congress.
What happened to me?
Yeah. The VA gets a certain amount of money allocated to them through Congress for their annual budget. Okay. What is not brought up, excuse me, is how much money the VA is bringing in from veterans like myself who have private insurance. Okay. So they're billing my private insurance.
Talked about that.
Every time I've gone there for anything, they bill my insurance. I had a surgery recently, and they're going to bill my insurance for that surgery and everything. they're going to get whatever they get from, the insurance company is going to authorize, but that is still income to assist the VA in their funding. Okay.
Any veteran which is on Social Security, they do the same.
Right. So
Social Security, Medicare, and
Yeah.
also even buying pharmaceuticals aside from your prescriptions through them. VA makes quite a bit of money off of that.
oh yeah.
As well as any other medical devices that people purchase. Like, for example, if they need another specific wheelchair, or if they need a cane just to have. Not all of this. I mean, some people want an extra just to have it there, aside from what they get, which is the hospital grade. And let's be honest, not everybody wants to walk around with a hospital grade looking
Walker. Yeah.
fucking walker cane.
Yep.
So the VA does make its money, especially from the shop bets that are there, the companies that partner with the VA, like Starbucks.
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a phone call.
The VA's
You're back.
opinion of a walker is the cheap little metal ones with the sliders on them and stuff, not the rollators. Those are extra.
Well, at one point in time, I was in so much. I had so much going on in my back and my legs and everything. I had to have one of those. I couldn't get one until I drank enough Mountain Dew and became diabetic and got hospitalized for it. Okay.
I don't mean to laugh, but
not proud of it. All right.
Right.
But I was diabetic.
yeah.
The next day, the next day, we had somebody come in from prosthetics. What else can we get you to help you, do all this? I'm like, well, I'm on this stupid, walker. Can you get me one of the ones with wheels to make it a little easier so then I have someplace to sit down and rest? He's like, oh yeah, I'll be right back.
When my partner had her heart surgery, they wouldn't let her go home without a rollator after she'd been sent down to the long-term care and stuff.
That's part of your rehab and your outside
Right.
rehab too.
Yeah.
They could, but
Wow.
the VA couldn't get her one for 3 months, so we had to go buy it ourselves.
Jesus Christ, that's
And then send
uncalled.
the VA the bill.
All right.
No, seriously.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like our local hospital. Okay, if you call an ambulance, okay, they'll take you to the closest hospital.
Mm-hmm.
They refuse to send Now, supposedly, when you go to a local hospital, if you tell them you're a veteran, they're supposed to stabilize you and contact the VA.
Right.
Yep.
They refuse to because they get a fine for it.
Jesus.
I'm like,
Really?
No, it's federal law. You're supposed
Yeah,
to.
you don't get fined for that.
That's not a fine. That's called doing your due diligence.
Well, they
Patient
did get a fine
care,
this,
patient
they did get
right.
a fine this time. $25,000 fine for not doing it.
Fucking dumbasses. Yeah, real smart there.
Yeah.
Hospital.
Only
Job.
reason We gotten lucky a couple times because our VA is a teaching hospital. Well, most VAs are teaching hospitals.
Yeah.
But
Definitely could have had a
somebody
couple
which came
lawsuits with that
came
one.
from the VA was in the ER. And she goes, "What are you doing here?" Just
Exactly.
picked up the phone and called them.
Exactly what should have happened in the first place.
Yeah.
Here in San Antonio, we get the residents that are from UT Health.
Yep.
They do rotations through the VA hospital because it's literally across the street from UT Health. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we get Harvard, MIT, BU, BC,
Yeah.
Simmons. Well, Simmons is all our social workers,
oh yeah, no, the government loves free
students.
Yeah.
free help. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Most nursing schools, I mean, if you have a VA hospital in your college town, they'll do clinical rotations over there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Or even dental students and everything.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And the VA's
That's
not
a
going to
thing.
say no because it's free help.
Yep.
Here, doctors now got an assistant that can go in and run down with the patient, all the questions and everything that need to be answered, and then go back and, discuss with the doctor before they both come back. It's what happens to me. I'm fine with that. Okay.
Yeah, that part's
Yeah.
fine. When you go to mental health and you have to start with a new person every 9 months because there's a 3-month period when there's nobody there from the school,
No.
and they wonder why there's a backlog for mental health or nobody wants to go. You don't want to restart every 9 months with somebody new.
Oh, hell no, you don't.
Well, that's pretty much what I told my therapist when coming down here to Texas. I'm like, I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we do most stuff on, telehealth anyway, so nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
you meet with your regular doctors telehealth if you needed changes to your prescriptions, so nothing wrong with that. You're
No.
good.
I mean,
I have no problem with it since I'm licensed. As she said, to help my,
Yeah.
not impact my credentials, I just have to, let you know that this will work for both of us if you want to continue that, because I am licensed in all 48, 50 states.
Yeah.
By working for the VA,
So that was
they're
nice. That's
Right.
integrity.
Yeah. By working for the federal government, their license is supposed to be good in all states. I think.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, even,
But just
I don't have.
do your due diligence.
Yeah, very much so. I enjoy having the telehealth thing. I've got a really good psychiatrist that I talk to about every 3 or 4 months. He makes sure my meds are there. I make sure I try and take them every day. You know how that works.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. We know.
Shut up, Minnie.
I hear ya.
Shut up. You're
Oh, I'm
guilty as
living
I
it
am.
myself. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I haven't been back to the VA in about 8 months.
The only reason I'm going
Jeez.
now is because I have issues that need to be dealt with. Period.
Right.
The nice thing about it is I've told him that we do this show, and I know he's checked on it a couple of times to see what kind of nightmare we created.
Oh no.
All right, I don't have an
God.
issue with it. All right, this is an outlet for me. If
Yep.
we can, and hopefully, like I
Love
said,
it.
we're a charity. I'm hoping that we are able to use this to kick off. Excuse me. Kick off the, the charity so that we can get it going and help other people instead of just us, because this is therapeutic for me. Okay, not so much the gaming. I do get a little frustrated from time to time. But I think from now on, going forward on Tuesdays, we're only going to do veteran talk. We're just going to do the news and chat and, the stories, and we're going to stick with that. But, gaming will be Saturday nights and maybe another night throughout the week. We'll see if we can squeeze in around football for those who don't watch it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll start looking into maybe.
Football, hockey.
Yeah. Well, hockey, you're not getting around hockey.
No.
There's pretty much a damn hockey game every night.
But yeah, you can find us on PayPal and Streamlabs, and we also do have a merch store up too.
Yep. If you go,
That are basically accepting all funds that go towards the charity.
yep. If you go to veterantalk.org, there should be a link down in the about section. There is a Florida Panthers, Red Wings, my foot. There's a link on the webpage to donate if you so desire. We greatly appreciate it. It is tax deductible, all that good, wonderful stuff.
Yep.
All right, now I got two more stories to go here. One of them's going to be kind of quick. Was a reported death recently. I didn't have this set up appropriately. My apologies. The USS Marionette executive officer died on the ship recently, and it has been ruled a suicide. The XO has been in about 13 or 14 years.
Wow.
Various locations throughout the world, of course, and don't know what happened. There's nothing in here as to possible reasons why, but they decided to forever sleep. Pretty sure they could have done it somewhere else, but sadly it is what it is. Now, that is going to feed into the Department of Defense has now released their numbers for last year before, where the military suicide rate has dropped, but the active duty deaths have increased slightly. Okay? So we're still having issues within the military branches, and I believe, I'm sorry, Panda, the Marine Corps is number 1 for suicides on active duty. These numbers are unacceptable. And I don't know if anybody is really getting down to the nitty gritty as to what's really going on and being told the truth. Okay? I don't think I've ever met a Marine that wasn't hardcore. All right? Y'all are a special breed. You really, truly are, and I'm not going to argue that. You're needed. You really, truly are. However, sometimes things go awry within the chain of command. Happens in every branch. And unfortunately, a lot of times it does not get addressed appropriately or within a reasonable amount of time. We did a story earlier this year about a sailor who was working out of Virginia Beach, Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk Naval Yards.
Yeah, it was there, they were pushing them, 16, 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, no time off, constantly, just running them into the dirt. And this individual, the sailor, saw the only way out was to do the forever sleep thing, which is...
Did you, write a letter explaining why?
Yes.
Saying, he had tried going to chain of command, but nothing continued to...
Yeah, nobody stepped in to help.
Nobody cared.
They had several within weeks or a month or something.
Yep. Oh, God, it was... It's just tragic.
It's a mindset for the chain of command, okay? And just like a machine, you can't run it 24/7, 365 for decades and not expect something to break. Okay? Yep. You got to take it down. You got to take it offline. You got to give it the once over. Make sure everything's in good working order. That's what leave is for. But when you don't allow your military members to take leave because of mission requirements, you're doing them a disservice. Okay? A substantial disservice to the point that things like this happen. Okay? And it's unacceptable.
Command failure.
All right? There's two ways about it.
Completely.
And I've heard or read stories where they've gone to their chain of command and the chain of command has pushed it up the food chain and they've gotten pushback and they're pulling their hands up. I don't know what to do. Bullshit, you do. Okay?
Yep.
You go around them. You go above them. You tell them, listen, I'm done with you. I'm moving up. Okay?
Yep.
I understand
you have that, right.
that there are needs these individuals have versus what the Navy requires and needs as well. But if you keep pushing them, bad things are going to happen, and we're watching it happen in real time.
I think we pointed that out, too, to, several stories that happened previous about the younger enlisted, with a survey that was done.
Yeah.
That basically said, outright said in these comments, these surveys that were, shared out to all branches, saying that, the majority, sadly, it was a big percentage.
Yeah.
Across most of the main branches felt like they were not heard, felt like, they didn't have faith in their leadership, they couldn't count on them. Like, it was bad, and people wonder why our recruitment numbers are fucking low, the lowest they've been in fucking years. Starts with the command, it starts with leadership. And I hate to say it, I'm gonna be the one. I had shitty leadership, and I hate to say it. Leadership is not for fucking everyone.
Nope.
Period. There's some leaders I've had, I'm like, you should have never had a fucking airman.
Yep. Well,
I hate to be that person, but it's the fucking truth.
back in the earlier days of the Army, I say back World War II through Vietnam, the Army had two sets of ranks. E1 to E3 was E1 to E3, private to PFC. Once you hit E4, you either went one of two ways. You either went corporal, which means you were combat arms and there were soldiers, you're going to be an NCO, or you're a specialist in your series, admin, things like that, where you are a specialist. That's where the specialist rank came from. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the Army used to have specialist ranks all the way up to E8, I believe. Yeah, E8. All right? Okay. Where the NCO side goes to E9, but that E9 is the Command Sergeant Major of the Army. Memory serves.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
you're looking at, line by line, pay was the same, everything like that, but it's whether you have soldiers or you don't. Okay? So, I was intel. The probability of me actually having soldiers in a career is like, dick, all right? Not going to happen.
Yeah.
I would have been perfectly happy as I had gone through to make E5, E6 as a specialist, because that's what I was. I was a specialist in my field. All right? So I think they should bring that back. And I think all of the services should have something along those lines, because not everybody's built to be an NCO. Not everybody wants to be an NCO. Okay?
I'm also going to say the whole, leadership classes and things that they send you to, stop putting an incentive and award behind it, because honestly that only pushes the most ignorant, arrogant fuck faces to want that position just so they can get another ribbon, award, or what the fuck ever. That once again does not prove they are a good leader or worthy of that class.
Right.
You need to be selective, and you need to seriously vet these people that go to that school for that accreditation.
Right.
Or take away the award and say, look, you've received this honor, but you are our leaders. You are our next leaders.
Look at Jessica Gillum here at Fort Hood, or Cavos, whatever the hell it is now, okay? Complete, utter failure by her chain of command. Her NCOs failed. All right? It wasn't like she just let it happen. She reported it repeatedly. Okay? Nothing was done. Now, her life doesn't exist any longer. The soldier that committed the crime killed himself. And the spouse of that soldier is in fucking prison.
Yep.
Okay?
Her family, I can't even imagine.
No. And we're talking, one action has dealt harm to 3 families.
Yep.
All right. And I'm sorry, he took the coward's way out. I will always say that when somebody has done something so heinous and horrific and they do that, that's the coward's way out. Okay? I admit you shouldn't be here, but you need to pay for what you did.
Yeah.
Don't be a coward. Stand up, man up, do what you're supposed to do. That's all I got to say on that one. I'm getting pissed. I'm going to have to go kill AIs.
I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, because...
It's a good thing for continued discussion later on, because...
It is.
Leadership.
Well, and again...
The Army's only one with a specialist-based rank.
Yeah.
It is. But the whole idea of career military and not necessarily being in a leadership, but basically being able to promote without gaining, without having to be in more leadership positions.
Right.
That went away with the fucking draft.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's actually happening. We just talked about it last week. Was it about the recruiters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You did
The
bring up the
recruiters
bonuses.
graduate from recruiting school. They pin E6. If they get 24, people to enlist in that first year, they pin E7. They're a fucking
New thing
recruiter.
that they're
They don't have any soldiers.
All right. I mean, I was
Yes, but
personnel.
again, by and large, again, especially as it applies to the Army, where, and again, you see this most prominently with the rise of private contractors within the military or, civilian services within the Department of Defense, is by and large because we downsized the military to a point where you need those civilian contractors just to make up the shortfall from active duty personnel, because we don't keep those active duty personnel around for that long for those positions.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variable involved, and you hit the nail on the head on some of it, but you're not going to have a civilian in a combat arms position. Okay.
Yeah.
You've got, soldiers, Marines, and I'm sure you've known a few that got promoted being in a combat arms MOS that weren't ready to be in a leadership position. They didn't have the proper mindset. They didn't, comprehend the fact that they are now responsible for others' lives and well-being. It happens everywhere in every service.
There's times I think all the branches should do the advancement like the Navy does. You test at your rating, at your pay grade. Then you go against everybody who's going for E5, okay? As a para-rigger, as I was. You took a specific test. Then you had your points for your different things you've earned and stuff, and you go against every person PR going for E5 in the Navy, and only a select number are getting promoted.
Well,
that's a double-edged sword, because then you run out of boat spaces, and then somebody that wanted to go career gets fucked out of a reenlistment space.
Yeah.
Because of timing, not even because they weren't good enough.
Well,
I've seen that happen time and again too.
Yeah.
Well, there is a time frame too of promotion. We've talked. Me and you have talked about this off air due to promotion statuses. There is a time frame, and it's known. It is 18 months. If something is still on the docket, once that 18 months and beyond hits, you're up for you're out.
Well, let's also keep in mind that we want the best and the brightest, right?
Yeah.
So how do we make sure we've got the best and the brightest? Well, testing them. Agreed. No argument there. Yeah. Okay. More than happy to have them continue to do that. But like I said, it really does come down to who is really qualified to take those billets. In 2005, the Army had such a deficit with intel analysts. I was not active duty at the time. Excuse me. That they were taking E4s, promoting them early to E5, sending them to what they call PLDC, Primary Leadership Development Course, after 1 year, promoting them to E6. Okay?
Jesus.
Just to fill the billet.
Just to fill that level of billet, because they had so many of them taking off, going out to the real world, making money.
Yep.
Okay?
Yay!
So here's that. Now you take somebody who's, say, in supply. Okay? They have points. Everybody has to have points, unless they make these exceptions, like for the intel and for the recruiters. The points for somebody that's in combat arms is relatively low. Military police, relatively low. Okay? Because these are short-lived MOSs in a lot of cases, and they want to try and keep these people in. Because I think in combat arms MOS for the Army, I think is at least a minimum 3-year contract now. Used to be 2, now I think it's 3. You want to keep people beyond that, you have to give them an incentive. So, hey, I can get promoted to an NCO. I just have to re-enlist. You know, I go through the board, I make my E5, I can, re-enlist as an E5. I'm making more money, have more responsibility, yada, yada, yada. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're supply, your points are near 800. All right? For the same promotion. Mm-hmm. Where combat arms is somewhere around 250 to 300.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Besides the fact that it's not fucking fair, let's be realistic about it. You're still going to have the issue of retention. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, granted, supply never goes to the front line. That's not what they do. They are providing everything to the front lines. Mm-hmm. Very important job. Not gonna shit on it in any way, shape, or form. However, do you want to keep these people? Do you want them to be felt like they're a valued member of the team? If so, yep. You have to give them an incentive as well. Okay? A lot of supply retire at E6 because they've run out of fucking time and there's no E7 billets available.
Or there's no
Why I went
incentive.
from reserves to active. My billet was an E4 billet only. If I wanted to go E5, I had to leave active reserves.
Yeah.
I actually know.
To get promoted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You bring up a point. I actually know somebody who was in supply. He was up for the Airman under a year or whatever that, Airman of the Year.
Yeah.
Grade.
Mm-hmm.
He was up for that in terms of on our base, and his, he only signed up for 2 and then 2 active and then doing 2, Navy Reserve or whatever, Army National Guard Reserve and everything like that.
Right.
And he actually got promoted, and his incentive, they sent him to school for business management, and additionally, fast-tracked him as opposed to being Guard Reserve.
Mm-hmm.
After his schooling, he's now in, I don't know if he's still in the Air Force or Army, but he's become basically a commissioned officer.
Yes. The Army calls that a green to gold promotion.
Yeah.
I'm sure most of the services have something like that.
Yeah.
They've been testing that on certain fields, like you said, though, in order to maintain retention, in order to maintain their numbers. I mean, we still need bodies. There's no questions asked, regardless of your position. We still need people. We can't, as Panda mentioned, we can't solely rely on our civilians and our civilian contractors.
Right.
Especially if we go to another war. We need people in these positions. We need people that are able-bodied, not just in leadership, but we also need people that we can retain.
Mentally stable might be a good add-on to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not listen, if you got a soldier or
Gotta
sailor
take care of our
Marine,
soldiers.
and they're a narcissist, and they've always got their nose up, the CO's ass and shit. No, that's not who you promote.
Nope.
Okay? You got to promote somebody that's going to be there for those below them and is going, how are you going to help me be better? How do I help you be better to help me be better? That's the kind of person you need. Not the person that's like, oh, I've got all this stuff and I shit and it don't stink and yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, congratulations. You don't eat beans, I understand. But, they're promoting people who have no business being in charge of other human beings.
Well, and that's why that it's lot of it, from my perspective, was an issue of timing more than anything.
Mhm.
Because when I was on active duty, there's a few of us, like so for crew chiefs, for the 53 at least, if not all the other crew chiefs, training pipeline is at minimum a year, if not longer.
Right.
It took me
Yeah.
15 months just to get to the fleet. From the day I left for boot camp to the time I got my orders to go to the fleet was 15 months.
Sounds about right.
We had been in service so long, and actually had been time and grade so long, that some of us actually got promoted to corporal like within 2 months of us getting to the fleet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but the problem is we were still new to, like, we had just done training. We hadn't been on deployments, hadn't even done pre-deployment training.
Yeah, you're still wet behind the ears.
Yeah, not well, let
Oy.
alone even get our qualifications to become like a plane captain or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Timing.
Then,
Yeah.
on the flip side of the coin, it took me 2 years and a month to promote to corporal from lance corporal, because fucking cutting score wasn't quite making it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I knew my job fairly damn well.
Yeah.
Did I drag my feet a little on making plane captain? Yeah, I did. But that's because everyone's like, well, fucking basically teach your fucking self how to fucking maintain this airplane. No, motherfucker. How about you get out there and fucking train me? I don't fucking know what I'm doing any better than anybody else.
Do your job and train me.
Yeah,
Yep.
they want to hear that. They only wanted to teach people who were like, fucking here, sign off on my qual. I just did this. Like, motherfucker, I don't even know what the fuck I just did.
Those stupid. Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
You bring up another
Yep.
point.
Very
Like
much.
those people that want the qualifications without putting in the additional, not just the book work, but the groundwork
Right.
too. Like, fuck's
I mean-
sakes.
I mean, that.
Well, and I was so busy just going out and working on the flight line, I couldn't even keep track of what maintenance tasks I was doing. I'm like, how the fuck should I know? I don't even have enough time to even look at my training maintenance records.
Yeah. And that's a problem.
Exactly.
That's a huge issue, because that falls into safety, of the aircraft and the personnel on board.
Yeah.
Well, I
We
mean,
won't
for
go
me,
back to the first story of the night.
well,
Yep.
and on top of that, I was a crew chief. I was, mechanic was my secondary billet, really.
Yeah.
Wow, that reminds me of my ex.
And so I'm just like,
We're not talking about anybody's exes on this show, ever.
and I'm just like, dude, this isn't
No, she
even,
was a
like, the
crew
maintenance
chief.
maintainer part of my job isn't even my primary job. Like, yes, it's a large part of it, because I'm expected to keep this thing flying while we're in the air should something happen.
Right.
But by and
But
large,
her-
it's not my primary job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh.
She got screwed out of, into basically an early out discharge because she was running into time and grade
Yep.
and was back to back 2 different deployments, one to Japan and then the other to South Korea. And they come to her, they're like, well, haven't you been, keeping up with your trainings, your the bookwork, the
Yeah.
presentations, the testing and everything like that. She's like, no, I never received the binders of these training manuals. Like, I know how to do my job. Hell, you gave me 2 airmen right after I got back from each of my deployments
Yeah.
to train. She's like, when have I had time for myself? And they're like, well, sorry, you're out. It's like, no, that's failed leadership. That's time. That's just utter fucking
Oh,
Yeah.
I was prior service
stupidity.
and everything. So when I got to my first command in the Navy, I was already E4.
Yeah.
And they're looking at me going, you're running not. They couldn't send me to flight line because you can't send a petty officer to the flight line to be flight crew. They're like, okay, take the coffee shop. Oh yeah, but you're also running the weekend shift in the shop because you have to be an
Wow.
E4 or above to sign off on inspections. So I got a 2-week crash course on how to do the secondary inspection to make sure the primary inspection was done correctly.
That's just wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and then, so when I got off active duty, my original plan was to switch over to the Coast Guard, but because I wanted to go into a different rating or MOS,
Mm-hmm.
I would have had to take a pay grade hit. So I would have gone from E4 to E3.
Oh, hell no.
And to add insult to injury, in order to stay in after a 4-year enlistment, I would have had to have made E5 by then. Mind you, the rates that I wanted had like a 2-year backlog for the MOS schools. And I was not eligible to promote until after I had completed those, and then because the Coast Guard operates like the Navy, where you test
right
Yep.
on top of everything else.
Yeah, it
so
wouldn't have happened.
no, it would not. I would have been lucky to have made E4 before 4 years, much less E5.
All right.
Which is why I never even went forward with enlisting in that, going that route. And that was right after the Obama drawdown in 2012.
Yay!
Yeah,
And
you
then,
should've gone to the Air Force.
the biggest fucking graduation shortly after. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Dumbass. All right.
But
Anyways,
yeah, I was a little salty.
moving on.
Just because it
You
was
think?
like my plan after getting off active duty in the Marine Corps.
All right, dude, you're still salty.
Yeah. About the timing where I went to being a contractor because it was work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do what we got to do. So, all right, with that.
I think we beat that topic to oblivion.
That's part of the fun of the show, people. That's part of the fun. Hey, if you're watching and you want to, hit that link to our Discord. Come on over. We're probably going to pull up some games and whatnot and hang out and keep things going for a little while in there. Again, if you're a veteran in crisis, I can't say it enough. That's why it's always at the top of the screen. Dial 988, select option number 1. You can text to that number as well. You can go to the veterancrisisline.net on your computer. Top right-hand corner is a link for you to chat with somebody, or you can reach out to any of the great nonprofits that are out there that help veterans get through whatever the crisis is. All right. A lot of them will sit through on the phone with you until the sun comes up to get you through that night if you have to. All right. There's good people out there. There are brothers. There are sisters. We want you to stick around. Because no matter what those dumbass voices in your head are telling you, you are worth it. All right? You are needed, you are wanted, and you are loved. All right?
Yes.
Don't ever forget that. We may have never met, but I still love you because you're my brother or you're my sister. Period. End of conversation. I want you to stick around with us.
We're a different breed as veterans, so we stick by one another.
So, with that, I don't know if anybody saw that one. That'd be funny as hell later. Join us. Currently, we're scheduled for Saturday night at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Probably going to do some Diablo 4 this weekend. All right. Hope to see you there. In the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Take care of everybody around you. Hey, everybody that joined in tonight, thank you for being here with us. I appreciate everybody being part of the conversation. You know, that are Two Wolf, Panda, and Minnie. I love you all. I appreciate you all very, very much. In the meantime, take care of yourselves. Take care of everybody around you, and we'll see you.